Students, hello, it's your instructor John Mandela with another screencast. This one is study guide for the Pixels quiz, so let's get started. Raster and vector, it's good to understand the differences between these two types of file formats so you know which ones will be best for your project. Raster is pixel-based, continuous tone, so it's great for photographic things or textures or basically any kind of painting type digital thing you're going to do like that. Vector is scalable, so it's resolution independent, which means it doesn't matter how big you design it in the program, it's going to be sharp at any size, big or small from there. Raster are types of images you'd create generally in Photoshop, and vector imagery you could create in Illustrator or perhaps Flash. DPI or PPI, which is dots per inch or points or pixels per inch or points per inch, measures resolution. So you want a low resolution for web imagery, so it loads really quickly. And it's going to be viewed pretty small anyway, so 72 DPI is good for that. 300 DPI is good for print. It's a standard. Sometimes you can get away with a little bit less depending on the printing methods and the paper and ink involved. You don't generally need more, so 300 is a good rule of thumb. Now, raster imagery is that's web ready. So you have JPEG, which is compressed continuous tone. It does degrade over time. If you keep resaving the JPEGs over and over again, algorithms will continually try to compress. But it looks good for photos online. GIF supports transparency and animation. Little animated GIFs. I wish you could just search animated GIFs online. You'll see an amazing host of all different kinds of weird things. But it does support transparency, which is nice too. Ping is even better than GIF in its support of transparency and in its ability to create an illusion of sharp edges. Still is a raster image, but it looks almost vector at times. Raster images that are print ready, so TIFF is the standard for high-resolution print imagery. No loss of information. It supports layers and effects and editable text, which is an advantage it has actually over the PSD. In the PSD, if you don't have Photoshop, you can't open and edit. At TIFF, you can though. Even if you don't have an image editor, it's just an image previewer. You can view the TIFF the way it was intended to be viewed, as a flattened preview. Bitmap. There's all different types of bitmap files. A bitmap effect you can apply to something like a TIFF is great. If you're scanning a text like a document or a really fine drawing or kind of like an architectural thing, you can scan it and be really high res because it creates pixels that are just black or just white. And so because of that, it's very little amount of information, so the file size is really small, but the resolution remains really high. Vector graphics that are print ready, so you have EPS, which stands for encapsulated PostScript. It's very similar to an AI file, except that it's more portable, more programs can use them. At least that's the way it used to be. A lot of them can open AI files now and embed them, but EPS is generally considered more portable than AI, although it has all the same features and benefits of vector graphics and editable text and things like that. A PDF supports vector graphics, raster graphics, and it can embed fonts in a PDF. It's one of the very nice things about it. So you don't have to outline or compromise your text. You can just know that it's embedded in the PDF. So when it goes to print at like an offset printer or something like that, or if it's viewed on a different person's screen as well. Video formats, you have SWIFT, shockwave flash object, so it supports raster, vector, video, and interactivity. It can do all those. It doesn't have to do all those though at a given SWIFT file. Generally, programs you'd use to create SWIFT are Flash and After Effects. AVI, so it stands for Audio Video Interleave. It's a widely supported, slightly compressed video file. Pretty generic. You can view it on just about any computer in the world. Programs we might use to create an AVI is After Effects and Premiere Pro. And a MOV is a QuickTime format, very popular, especially on Apple. It's slightly more compressed, or it can also be really high res, not compressed that much at all. Programs we might use to create MOV files are After Effects, Premiere Pro, and even Photoshop, because remember, Photoshop can create animation and video. Audio formats we can look at is a WAV, which I believe stands for Windows Audio Video. To uncompressed audio formats, the files are quite large, but the quality is pretty good. Juxtapose that with an MP3, which is a compressed, audio format. That's what makes the file so small, so that's what makes them very portable, although the audio quality is not that great. Tinny is a word that's often used a lot when describing MP3s. And last one, HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. This is a web document. It can support text, images, video, animations, and interactivity. It's the standard. It's what all web documents are online, or just about all of them, and it's what we use